Imagine you're navigating a boat through rough waters with the shore of your dream career just in sight. But here's the catch. Without the right guide, you're just drifting along. And that guide, my friend, are nothing but KPIs. They are not just numbers. They are the checkpoints which actually show you the way to real career growth, your higher income, and also your place of influence. In today's video, I am going to uncover these KPIs of both service and product companies that can take you from simply surviving at work to truly thriving in your entire career. So let's get started. As you know, there are only two types of possible businesses you can ever be a part of if you are in a profit-making business enterprise. Either the company has both products and services, or only either of them for sale. In the corporate world, each employee is expected to generate specific results which are typically measured in the form of several tangible objectives. And these objective metrics are known as KPIs, which we can also call as key performance indicators. KPI is an abbreviation. Or in some companies, they also call them as KRAs, or key result areas. All refer to the same thing. If you have adhered or exceeded the expected metric of KPIs assigned to you in your job role, you have chances of getting promoted or at least get a raise. I use the word chances here very carefully because just achieving KPIs alone might not always lead to a promotion. You might already have experienced it. Now, if you have poorly performed against your KPIs, then you have a risk of losing your role or reputation, or both of it, depending on the level at which you are employed, that is. So, what are these KPIs and how does your work actually impact your company? Let's look at this. Well, there are two types of KPIs actually. One is called the leading KPI and the other type is called the lagging KPI. Remember, the KPIs which are assigned to your role can vary based on the business function that you are actually heading. Leading KPIs are actually predictive measures that indicate future performance of the company and yourself. They provide early warnings and insights into potential outcomes which allow you to make proactive adjustments to influence or to improve your future results. For example, the number of new leads in marketing or website traffic, these are leading KPIs. In manufacturing companies, if you can take, inventory turns is an example of a leading KPI. Now, what is a lagging KPI then? These actually are outcome-based measures that reflect the past performance. They are typically easier to measure, but they only show what has already happened, not what will happen in the future. While these are crucial for assessing the effectiveness of a past strategy, these are less useful in making immediate improvements. That's why it's called lagging. For example, the revenue, the profit margin, and similar financial metrics along with the KPIs such as customer retention rate and net promoter score, these are all examples of lagging KPIs. There are four types of relationships that actually strongly exist between the leading and the lagging KPI. Let's call this as the KPI dynamics in short. The first of the four dynamics is the relationship between the leading and the lagging KPI is that of a causal influence type of a relationship. What does this mean? This means the leading KPI often can cause change in the lagging KPI. For example, in a manufacturing company, the increased production throughput, which is actually a leading KPI, can lead to higher revenue growth, which actually is a lagging KPI. However, it's not a certainty, but the correlation does exist. The second type is called the predictive relationship, meaning the leading KPIs can provide early signals about the future performances. Monitoring these KPIs can actually help us anticipate changes in lagging KPIs that is expected to come. For example, an increase in the customer inquiries for new products in the sales function, which actually would be a leading KPI, this might predict future revenue growth, which actually becomes a lagging KPI. Although it is not always certain, it is highly likely that it's a possibility. The third of the type of dynamics is the time lag relationship. There is a certain time lag between the leading and the lagging KPI, which is characterized by that specific process life cycle duration typically. Leading KPIs are measured earlier in the process and can indicate trends before they are reflected in the lagging KPIs which follow them later. For example, employee training hours, which is a leading KPI, might take several days or weeks or months even as time to translate into improved product quality, which actually is then the lagging KPI. This depends on the process lifecycle duration for which they are actually trained. For example, in an e-commerce company, Let's assume a leading KPI of number of website visits from a marketing email campaign. Let's consider this as the leading KPI. For it, the lagging KPI can be the number of sales which are generated from the marketing email campaign itself. In this case, the time lag is extremely short because the effect of the marketing email campaign on sales can be observed almost immediately, since the process cycle time is extremely short here. Finally, the last type of relationship dynamics is the leading and the lagging KPIs have feedback loop relationship between them. This means that by monitoring both of these types of KPIs, we can actually adjust business strategies based on the leading KPIs in order to achieve desired outcomes of the lagging KPI. For example, let's say in a software product company which actually makes mobile app product, if customer satisfaction scores, which is a leading KPI, is declining, then by taking proactive measures to improve the customer service, which will eventually improve the customer retention rates, which is the lagging KPI, this is very much observed as a relationship, is it not? Now that we have discussed the dynamics between the leading and the lagging KPIs, one thing is extremely sure. You need to understand what is the bottom line of every single business. One sentence is extremely true in the business world. All businesses are in business to make money. Obviously, financial KPIs are the bottom line, and improving them and making them attractive is the real deal for any business. All the value proposition that you as a leader can bring about is ultimately supposed to benefit the lagging KPIs, which are touching the financial state of the company positively. In order for you to be successful in your career, this is extremely important. As a working professional, you can be possibly looking to work only for two types of profitable companies. Either it's a product or a service company, or that company does both. Now, let me take you through the possible value offerings that you can bring about as a leader within either a service or a product company. With this, you can also observe the financial metrics of those companies that positively impact the company. This knowledge is immensely valuable for you because you can put together your value proposition to the hiring manager using this information, and also after you get the job, you can deliver excellent results or outcomes in your role, and this is exactly what you are getting the job for, is it not? So let's look at these value proposition examples in closer detail. Firstly, in a service company, let's discuss 7 most important ways that you can add value and impact the lagging KPIs positively. The first of them is improving efficiency and productivity of your service delivery. With this, your success will result in increased revenue and reduced operating expenses, which lead to higher profitability, obviously. The second way is by optimizing resource allocation and its utilization. By such an optimization, reducing operational expenses and increased efficiency, this results in higher profitability, which happens due to wastage reduction totally. The third way is by enhancing customer experience and their satisfaction. In this particular case, the improved customer loyalty generates higher revenue from existing customers over time. Fourthly, by expanding service offerings or by entering new markets, you can add value. When you can do this at the right time upon analyzing data thoroughly, increased revenue from new services or new markets can actually be achieved. Fifth way to deliver value is by implementing cost-cutting measures and process improvements. When you as a leader accomplish this in any service industry, the reduced operational expenses actually lead to higher profitability. It's a no-brainer. The sixth way is by effectively managing your talent and employee engagement. There is usually a reduced cost associated with employee turnover, and as a result of this, it increases your overall productivity, which obviously increases profit margin for the company. The last but not the least in our list is that of leveraging the technology and automation to deliver value. By doing this, you will be reducing the operational expenses and increase the company's efficiency through automation. You will also reduce the overall process lifecycle duration, which has a direct positive implication on its cash flow, revenue, and profit margin for the company. If you by chance are in a product company, let's say, the first way to demonstrate value for you would then be optimizing your production processes and by reducing waste. By this, you will be reducing manufacturing costs and increase your gross profit margins for the overall manufacturing company. Second way is by enhancing quality control and product excellence. By doing this, there will be improved customer satisfaction and you will reduce costs associated with product returns or even defects. The third way is to demonstrate value by developing innovative products and expanding product lines. By doing this, the company achieves increased revenue from new products or even new markets or both. Fourthly, by improving supply chain management and inventory control processes, immense value can be achieved. You will then be able to achieve reduced inventory holding costs and also improve the cash flow for your own company. The fifth way to deliver value is by implementing lean manufacturing or just-in-time techniques, where the reduced inventory levels and improved asset utilization can both lead to higher returns for the company. Moving on from here, with effective marketing and brand positioning initiatives as a marketing leader, you can actually bring about increased revenue and improved brand recognition and customer loyalty for the company. This is the sixth way. Last but not the least, by strategically pricing the products and with proper revenue management, you can achieve increased profitability through optimized pricing also and revenue management for your company. There are a lot more ways to add value to corporations, but the bottom line takeaway here for you is that whatever be the job function or the role of yours, to add or demonstrate value to the firm, your leading KPIs should always be achieved and should be positively impacting the financial metrics of the company, which is nothing but usually the lagging KPIs. The degree to which this particular impact is created by your service is directly proportional to your career growth acceleration. If you achieve the target KPIs and generate value as expected in your job, assuming you have ensured your visibility and are also persuasive enough, that is, then you get promoted with a raise. At least a raise is surely around the corner if your KPIs are achieved, if not promotion. Now, if you look at the gloomy tale, when these values are not delivered or the KPIs which are critical to the company and they are expecting of your job role were not actually achieved as expected by you, then what happens? There is a risk of reputation and job loss or both for you in such cases. It is never a happy situation to be in when the KPIs are not achieved if you are especially striving for your success and your growth. This usually only happens when your job is not actually aligned with your passion and your life's mission at all. So be very careful when you choose your job and role. So here is the bottom line, leaders. Mastering your KPIs and knowing when to drive leading actions that create future impact and also focus on lagging results that prove value, this is how you stand out in any company. It is this particular deep understanding of KPIs that actually allow you to actively shape the success of your company while building your own career path to influence your income and also your authority. Think of every single KPI as a stepping stone, bringing you one step closer to becoming indispensable in your company. When you align your personal mission with the value that you are bringing to your role, you are just not performing alone, you are actually transforming. Your career, your future, and even the trajectory of your company are a part of your transformation right then. Go out of there and take charge. The power to thrive, not just survive, is firmly in your own hands. To wrap this up, let me know in the comments below what's the one KPI that you think will make the biggest difference in your particular career in the job that you are currently in. I would love to hear your insights. And if this video actually helped you to see KPIs in a new light, give me a thumbs up and share it with others who would benefit. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future videos packed with strategies for your own career success. Thanks for watching, and let's keep growing together.